And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Sister May Show. How you guys doing this afternoon? Long time no see. Long time no see. You know, your girl been working. Your girl isn't a YouTuber yet. So, your girl got a 9 to 5 and been very busy. But I got time today, so I'm going to give you a couple of videos for today. I hope you guys enjoy the content that I plan on putting up on the channel today. And we might be going live this afternoon if I could figure out how to work this StreamYard shit out. So let's begin. The first thing I want to talk about today is cisgender people's opinions on trans-related issues. And when I say cisgender people, I mean cisgender heterosexual, cisgender homosexual men or women. So the first person I want to talk about is Jay Bullock. Jay Bullock decided to make a post under, I guess, Day and Michelle Obama did some kind of a virtual interview for Women's History Month, be it that Day is a transgender woman. Michelle Obama decided to highlight her in her Women's History Month thing. So Jay Bullock decided to make a post saying that it was demonic and he's not here for it and it's bad for the community, this, that, and the third. Just really bashing, going off on a child. First of all, let's talk about this. No matter how you may feel about Zayaway, she is a child. I think she's 14 years old. So when your grown, immature ass is up here reading and talking about somebody is demonic and why is they doing this, that, and the third, remember that you are speaking about a child, not an adult, a child. Next thing is that J-Bug, you got so I can't stand when cisgender men who claim not to be trans attractive got so much shit to talk about the trans community when you got so much other things to be going on. I get it, J-Bug, that every time somebody even talk about anything LGBTQ, it reminds you of Chris Stokes and it make your booty hole start to itch and start to tingle and you start to remember those nights that Chris Stokes held you down and forced his dick in your butt. And so because of those incidents, you have developed this hatred for the LGBT community. Sir, it's called a psychiatrist. Go get help for that. That ain't got nothing to do with us in the LGBT community. Chris Stokes is not a part of the LGBT community. He's a pedophile. There is a clear and distinct difference. And just because somebody forced something upon you as a child, that does not mean that people are forcing anything upon Zaya as a child. Zaya could be like many other trans stars and trans activists and trans advocates that knew who they were from a child. You should not be putting your adult bullshit on Zaya Wade. Go and talk to Raz B and try to get justice for your booty hole as a child. But leave poor Zaya Wade alone. She ain't got nothing to do with this whole Chris Stokes bull. And I just really think it's just very immature, literally Marcus Houston, for you to sit up there as a 30-something-year-old man attacking a child or attacking a black. First of all, their way did not just sit up there and at 14 years old decide to do an interview about Women's History Month. Michelle Obama invited Zaya Wade to her platform to talk about Women's History Month. So if you want to attack somebody, attack Michelle Obama. Like, this is what's not Zaya Wade's doing. This was Michelle Obama's doing. And I applaud Michelle Obama for including my sister, my little sister Zaya, in the conversation of Women's History Month. Because guess what? Especially black trans women have made so much women's history, black history, so on and so forth. And instead of sitting up there saying that we're trying to replace cisgender women, how about look at it as we're just trying to finally get our voices recognized in spaces and in things that we have been doing for eons. Next point of conversation is Funky Dineva, sister, I love you. I've been following you, Funky Dineva, for years. And I get your brand of humor and I get your brand of comedy, right? I'm gonna need y'all at TGIF to do a lot better when it comes to trans issues, right? And see, I love the show, so I'm not gonna bash the show because I really thoroughly enjoy the show. But you guys was dead ass wrong for the way you guys handled the conversation you had on trans athletes competing in women's sports. And you all are doing what the white people do to black people. You're taking the select few incidents where it is obviously a disadvantage and not microphone, Lord. Um putting a microscope to that and using that as the broad example of what transgender people are trying to do. 9 times out of 10, let's get this straight and let's make this very clear. 9 times out of 10, transgender women are women. So the sports, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 7 times out of 10, the sports that transgender women are trying to compete in are like cheerleading, are like um the dance squad, are like the drill team, are like things where them being trans is not an advantage or a disadvantage to another female athlete, right? So for you all to be saying this about these track and field children, and the other part of it is that you all are starting in the middle of the conversation. Aren't starting at the beginning of the conversation. You all are did a whole thing on your show about a conversation that happened way back in 2016. Follow up 4 years later, 5 years later, almost, these girls are in college and they're getting their asses beat. Why? Because their fish food has kicked in and they can know and their bodies has broken down and all of that stuff. So one of them, I think, was on the verge of losing her scholarship because she just kept getting her ass beat in college because her fish food has started to kick in. So when it comes to transgender athletes, it's a case by case situation. It's a case by case decision, right? And it's not one of the things that you guys better realize is if you have a girl who's been on her hormone replacement therapy since she was, let's say, 3 years old and never experienced puberty, there is no kind of physical advantage that she has over a regular, I shouldn't say regular, over a biological cisgender woman. So what's your argument to that? You all are doing what white people do to black people. You all are taking the most extreme, the most outrageous, the most hard examples that you have. And let's talk about Fallon Fox because you guys talked about her a little bit. Yes, Fallon Fox is a professional MMA fighter, right? And yes, in Australia, she had a boxing or a fight where she did um, um, cause a fracture in a cisgender woman's skull. But what y'all are not going to do is y'all are not just going to leave that conversation at there and not talk about how her very next fight Fallon Fox had, she almost died because a cisgender woman beat her ass so badly. So is it no longer fair? Because yes, she beat one cisgender woman up, but another cisgender woman beat her ass. So in that situation is fair. She won one fight. She lose most of her fights. We're talking about one fight where she won, whereas Fallon Fox loses most of her fights to cisgender women. She's not one of the top MMA fighters in the world. She's somewhere in the middle because she loses a lot. Why? Because she takes her fish foods and her strength is nowhere near as a person who does not, man or woman. That's on period. That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So thank you guys for watching this episode of the Sister Mamie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. Check me out on Facebook at Makayla Sol. I'm always leaving some interesting tidbits and opinions. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.